thanks to all of you for your generosity and support of this very important cause. I never imagined that I personally would be the subject of a charitable event, but I am, and it's fine with me. That's right, it's fine with me. I'm lucky in that Parkinson's disease has very little impact, if any, on my day-to-day life's activities. As a matter of fact, some of the drugs that I take have increased my flexibility, and at least I'm convinced that my golf game is better, even though my scores don't show it. If the day comes when the disease does impact my day-to-day activities, I gain comfort in the fact that those doctors, nurses, social workers, and especially those scientists we honor here tonight will be working diligently on the cause and cure for Parkinson's disease.
Hello, my name is Brian Stark, and I'm honored to be co-chair of this year's event along with my good friend Barry Milberg. I was asked to speak briefly about what the Parkinson Council means to me. And rather than speak extemporaneously, which would take me all day, I would rather read a statement I wrote instead. I was diagnosed in 2002, and since that time the Council has meant one thing: hope. It is hope for the people I see when I come down to my visits, hope for those who are suffering much more than I, and hope for all those not yet diagnosed with this horrible disease. It is said hope is not a good strategy, and for the Parkinson's Council, it's not. They have an excellent plan and one that is singularly focused. Their funding has enabled those scientists we honor this and every year to continue their tireless research, which has led to newer and better treatments. Their work gives hope to all of us dealing with an uncertain future and brings us closer to the day when Parkinson's will no longer be a dreaded diagnosis. Today, my fight is to extend my quality of life one day at a time. Their fight is to provide me the tools and the hope that I can do so until we achieve the one common goal we seek: a cure.
A lot of what we do here at the Parkinson's Center is what is generally called patient-oriented research, which means that we interact directly with people with Parkinson's disease and their family members, their friends, their spouses. I think there was a period of time where I felt uncomfortable asking people to do this because I thought it was our research and I was asking them to do something just for us. But after a while I realized that patients were actually, in many cases, more than willing to do this and saw this research as not just our research here or the doctor's research, but actually the patient's research too, and they were every bit as invested in finding better treatments for Parkinson's disease as we were. In fact, much more invested in most cases because they have to live with Parkinson's disease every day. And so it's not just our research. This patient-oriented research that we do is a research that we share with the patients. It's a partnership between us and the Parkinson's patients, and we're all working together in this, basically what's a common battle against Parkinson's disease. And I think that the people who participate in the research feel every bit as invested in it as we do, and every bit as committed to seeing it be successful.
Another line of research in my laboratory that we've been working away at for a number of years now is the use of stem cells as a potential replacement cell for those dopamine neurons that have died in Parkinson's disease. And we spent a long time trying to get those cells to do exactly what we want them to do and to really resemble in a very authentic way the dopamine neurons that are lost in Parkinson's. And we think we're there now. And in fact, our studies are very promising in animal models of Parkinson's disease where we place those stem cells into the brain. Many of those animals show very remarkable degrees of recovery of function. And so we're hoping that those studies will move along in the next few years and begin to be ready for clinical trials.
Our great ambition, our holy grail, is to prevent the disease before people get the disease. And the discoveries in the last 10 years that have really changed the field are a lot of genetics pointing to genes that underlie one's risk for Parkinson's disease. And then the miscreant proteins, the bad guys in the brain that, in this case, with Lewy body Parkinson's disease, form these Lewy bodies. These are the signature brain abnormalities that define Parkinson's disease as idiopathic Lewy body Parkinson's disease.
I think that the information that we've generated thus far, in other words, trying to study how alpha-synuclein misfold in a test tube or in a cell would allow us to use that knowledge to identify small chemical molecules that would inhibit the misfolding process of alpha-synuclein into Lewy bodies.
Unfold the misfolded protein, trash the misfolded protein so it goes into a garbage disposal, which all of our cells have. And the way to do that is to try to find small molecule drugs that you can take by mouth, hopefully, or by injection, but by mouth is always, pill is always better, so that they get into the brain and can interact with the damaged proteins to either get rid of them or lead to their refolding so they're functional again.
On a personal note, my heartfelt thanks to my brother-in-law Neil, my sister Sherry, and my niece Becky for their generous donation towards making this event a financial success. And of course, thanks to my wife Karen and all of my friends and other family members for accepting the fact that I'm still the same Barry I was before I had Parkinson's.
So I thank the Council and the researchers for their outstanding work, and I thank my excellent neurology team at the Movement Disorder Center, led by Dr. Stacy Horn and Suzanne Reichwein. I thank my wife for pretty much everything else, putting up with my whining, keeping a good sense of humor, and being there to support me whenever I need to. Thanks to all of those supporting this year's event on my behalf, guys I grew up with, work with, those I've known for many years, and those only a few. And a special thanks to the guys from Norbeck Country Club who came up from Maryland to support me this year. Thank you.
I'd like to take this opportunity to thank the Parkinson's Council on behalf of all of the researchers who are being honored here today. And especially I want to thank those of you in the audience who come out year after year to support this important and worthwhile endeavor. Thanks so much, and keep up the good work. Hope to see you next year.